Hello everyone, I'm Jelina, and in case you don't know about me, I just made a couple videos about IELTS speaking for IELTS test. So because of that reason, I appear again and I want to share some of my new vocabulary and ideas for your speaking test. So, but this first video is kind of for such a long time I don't have my new video on the channel, so that's why I want to mention about the reason first for this video. One obvious reason is that I decided to get my IELTS certificate next year. So for this journey, I'm kind of ambitious to get much higher band score. I have my own band score one, but I don't share now in this video. So just let it as a secret. So let's get started. The video today, I would like to describe about a couple personal questions that we could practice for ourselves, because just have to build our idea and vocabularies for the IELTS test. So let's get started, right? The first topic today I want to mention is about sport and swim. And there's some basic question that we could come up with during the test. Is that, do you go swimming? You guys could answer that. Well, I have to say that if you like swimming and you want to mention, say yes. So you could answer like, yes, I have to say that swimming is my forte. I have a knack for it, and I go swimming whenever I want, just for a dip. It's really a plus, and I think I'm good at that when I was a child. That's it. Or if you don't like swimming and you're not really into swimming, you could answer like, well, I have to say that swimming is my forte. I have a fear of water, so it's really challenging for me to start it from the scratch. Well, going to question 2, there's a sample like, how often do you go to swim? Well, to deal with this question, you could answer like, well, I have to say that I'm from Vietnam, which is a tropical country. It's hot on year-round. I have to say that I usually wet buckets during summertime. So for this time, I usually go to the beach or the sea near my house for a dip. It's really a plus. It saved my life during this time. So as the first question, I just gave you some samples. I could explain more for you those new words I use during the question 1. I mentioned that swimming is my forte. Forte is kind of your strength. Like you have a passion for that and you have strength, and you get easier to learn that skill, that subject, or that thing, that stuff. So that's why when we mention about my forte, like it's your strength. But forte is kind of more advanced, so it can help you to get higher band score compared to strength, you know. And another phrase word I use is that I have a knack for it. You mean I have a knack for it, like I'm really into that. For example, I have a knack for it when it comes to swimming, because I'm really fond of swimming. It's just like the same meaning, but when you use the much more fancy phrase word, it could help you to get a higher band score, and that's it. It just those mean. Because compared to our daily work or daily life, it's not necessary for us to use so, but in IELTS then we're gonna get higher band score. It's much useful for you to do so. And the last one I want to mention is that I'm good at something. I'm good at it when I was a child. It means that you swim really good. You do something best. For example, you mentioned I really like math or mathematics, and I'm good at that. I'm good at calculating figures, numbers, and you love analyzing data, those kind of things. You could mention that. So you're good at something mean you do something really well. That's it. And or if you don't like swimming, you could answer like I have a fear of water. It's kind of you're scared of water. So when some people teach you how to swim in the sea, in the beach, it's kind of just make you like, sometimes people screaming, sometimes people so scared about a lot of water around, and like it's kind of you could drown any moment you want. So that's why we say that we have a fear of something. Okay, you're really scared about something, so you say I have a fear of something. Sorry. Well, going to question 2, there's a example like how often do you go to swim? Well, to deal with this question, you could answer like, well, I have to say that I'm from Vietnam, which is a tropical country. It's hot on year round. I have to say that I usually wet buckets during summertime. So for this time, I usually go to the beach or the sea near my house for a dip. It really a plus. It saved my life during this time. So for the sample question 2 I just mentioned, I have used some of phrases. I just want to mention and explain more for you. The first phrase I use that Vietnam is a tropical climate. Like this noun phrase, tropical country. I'm sorry, because Vietnam is most of the time is hot. So what I mean is that it's a tropical country because it's hot most of the time. And the next phrase is that it's hot on year round. It's hot most of the time, but we change the way we say that. It's hot on year round. It's like kind of more fancy phrase when we use in IELTS speaking test, and that's it. And I also mentioned that it really a plus. It means like when you have a lot of fun, when you're really happy and you really enjoy that time. So you say that it really a plus. And I also mentioned that it saved my life because Vietnam is really hot, extremely hot. So go to the beach this day, especially in summertime, it's saved my life. It make me feel better. So I say that like it saved my life. And a next phrase I use that I sweat buckets. It means like when it's extremely hot, I get wet easily. And for summertime, it's things worse. I wet a lot. So I say that I sweat buckets during summertime. And what about the last phrase I remember that we use is maybe that's it. Oh, as well as scorching hot. Scorching hot is kind of like it's scorching hot the other way when we say that extremely hot, and that's it because I wanna put stress for the weather during summertime. So that's why I say that it's scorching hot instead of extremely hot. It's much more fancy, you know. So that's why those phrases could help us to like improve our band score. Yeah, that's it. Well, for the question number 3, maybe you could come up with some question like what are benefits of playing sport regularly? To deal with this question, you may answer like, well, there are a lot of advantages that we could reap from playing sports regularly. One obvious advantage is that playing sport regularly do wonders for our physical and mental health. It means you could get lean and stay in shape. And for the sake of longevity, doing a little exercise every day goes a long way. Furthermore, playing sport regularly, especially team sport, also instills in us about the team value, which is do wonders for our social circle later on, because you could know how to get along well with others in the future when we go to work or school. Well, I want to explain some phrase that I use for the question sample number 3. The first phrase I use is that for the sake of longevity. It means like for the purpose to lengthen our age in the future. So that's a fancy way for us to say to increase our band score instead of say increase our age. It means like for the sake of longevity, or you say that like you want to improve your longevity. It's also okay, but for the sake of longevity, it's kind of a phrase, and then we could use a sentence later. For the sake of longevity, a little exercise every day really goes a long way. It means goes a long way is it really works. So instead of say really works, we could say that goes a long way. It have effective. I mean so. And like I also mentioned, do wonders for something. Something do wonders for something. It means that like going swimming really do wonders for my body, because I could get lean. Like I could lose weight. I get lean, stay healthy. I could lead a healthy lifestyle. So that stay healthy and get lean, because I'm become more thinner. So I'm much more thinner. I'm much thinner. So that's why I say that get lean. Okay. Another phrase maybe I use is that let me see. Instill somebody about something, like instill in us about team value. It means like it teach us, play in team sport, teach us about the team value. Instead of say that teach us about something, we say instill in us about team value. It's much more better, right? I also use that get along well with. It's like we could lead a good relationship with somebody. So that also means that get along well with others. You have a good relationship with your colleagues, with your friends, with your co-workers, those things. So like as well with your family members. So we could say that get along well with somebody. I think that's it on the phrase for the question 3 I just mentioned to you. Well, for the question number 4, I suppose that may be the final question for this part 1 speaking test, sport and swim. But how so? So maybe you could get this question. Are there any sport that you would like to try in the future? You could answer like, yes, absolutely. Extreme sport is a sport that I would like to have a crack at, and there are some extreme sports crossed off my bucket list. For example, bungee jumping, skydiving, and skiing. Partly because I believe that I could get a sense of adventure and test my limit when I tried them, and it really plus. I believe so. So whenever I have an opportunity, I would like to give it a go. So for explanation, I just use the phrase like I have a crack at. It means it's kind of a more fancy way of I want to try. Like I have a crack at. I want to try something. I want to have a crack at something. It's just like that. And another phrase I use is that it's really a blast. I explained already. You have a lot of fun. You're really happy when you do them, when you enjoy them. So that's why I mentioned it really a blast. And I also use the phrase like test my limit and get a sense of adventure. It's kind of get a sense of adventure mean like you could get adventure feeling. So you could mention I could get a sense of adventure whenever you want to do something challenging, and you could get adventure feeling. So you could say that I could get a sense of adventure. And another phrase I use that I believe that cross off my bucket list. It's kind of cross off my bucket list. Kind of it's a must for me to do during my life. Like it like somebody we have a list, a must to do list. So when you put something in this list, it's really important, and you have a great passion for those things, and you definitely try whenever you have a chance. So whenever you have a chance, it's also another way to say that give it a go. Whenever I said that whenever I get an opportunity, I definitely give it a go. Give it a go mean like I definitely try that. Give it a go. I go for it. I go for it when I have a chance. So give it a go, like kind of I definitely tried it, and that's it. Those are phrases really do wonders for you to improve your band score. Believe me. Well, and that is all about today's episode. There are 4 sample question and answer about the topic in IELTS speaking test, swimming and sports. I hope that my video including my new phrases, structure and grammar will do wonders for you in terms of improving your IELTS band score. And another thing I want to say is that I get those phrases, grammar and structure from one of his book about like how to crack the IELTS speaking test. Maybe he bought this last year, I believe so. I bought that book, and it's really do wonders for me to practice English skill, not IELTS speaking test, not only IELTS speaking test. And Nguyen is also a good teachers that I also expect them what they do for our new learners like me. So that's just all about my video. Maybe there are many of you could find that those phrases, including the sentences, are so familiar. Because these 2 teachers are like so much popular, famous. They have like good reputation about IELTS. So you could get that on YouTube or another channel. But I hope that for new learners, you haven't know about those phrases. It could do wonders for you later on. So that is all about the video. If you like my video, please like and subscribe my channel to catch up the latest video, as well as other grammar, structure, anything that you could learn and read from my channel. So that would be a great news, and my pleasure to like accompany with you during your IELTS journey. Bye. Have a great day. See you next time in the next episode.